Okay, so today we're going to talk about something really important and useful in real life, and it has to do with solving proportions. And the first thing to know is that a proportion is nothing more than two equal ratios. So for instance, we could write 2 over 3 is equal to 8 over 12. Now, as long as those ratios are equal, I have a proportion. Is it true that 2 over 3, 2 is to 3 as 8 is to 12? Yes, because if I multiply 2 by 4, I get 8, and if I multiply 3 by 4, I get 12. So I've set up a proportion. In algebra, we would write A is to B as C is to D. And what must be true about B and D? What's the one value that B and D can't take on? If you're thinking 0, you're correct. So we would say B is not equal to 0, comma, D is not equal to 0. So we remember that we can never have 0 in the denominator, no division by 0. Okay, so you all understand what a proportion is, nothing more than two equal ratios. Okay, and by the way, any number can be written as a ratio. I could write 5 as a ratio, right? How would I write 5 as a ratio? Remember, a ratio is a fraction. If you're thinking 5 over 1, you're correct. Now I've written it as a ratio. Okay, so let's go on to actually solving proportions. So 5 is to 6 as something is to 18. How would you solve that? Think about it for a second. You think you know? Well, you look at the denominators, and I know to get from 6 to 18, I have to multiply by 3. So since this is times 3, this also needs to be times 3. So x must equal 15. Okay? All right, so that was an easy one. Let's look at another one. X is on the left side now, no big deal. So again, compare denominators. Is there a quick way I can get from 8 to 72? And 8 goes into 72 9 times. So that means I have to also multiply 5 times 9. So 5 times 9 is 45. So x is equal to 45. Okay? All right, now sometimes it's not that easy. We have to use some algebra. So notice this one, x is to 12 as 2 is to 8. Okay, not so easy. I can't think of any number that a whole number that I can multiply 8 by to get to 12. So what I can do to solve for x is I can multiply both sides by 12. Okay, if I multiply both sides by 12, okay, now I've got x by itself. So x is equal to 2 over 8 times 12 over 1, right? Which is 24 over 8, or 3. Okay? Did any of you notice also that you could simplify 2 over 8 to 1 over 4? So that would actually be the quicker way. And I wasn't even thinking of that when I was writing the problem, but that's really true. So if I simplify 2/8 to 1/4, now it's nice and easy because I know 4 times 3 is 12. Therefore, 1 times 3 is x, or x is equal to 3. Get the same answer a little faster. Okay? You think you're getting it? These are called proportions. They're two equal ratios. All right, let's set one up from words, and then we'll be done. So we have an internet bookstore that charges $8 to ship a $100 book order. Okay? How much would they charge to ship a book order for $350? All right, well, we have to find the shipping charge, right? So we can set up a proportion. We know it costs $8 to ship, right? 100 books. So now on this side, I've got to have, on this proportion, I have to have the shipping charge in the numerator and the books in the denominator, because that's the way it appears on the left side. So I want to know how much they charge to ship a book order, and this should be in dollars, dollar books. So now I need to put 350 in the denominator and x shipping in the numerator. Okay? And you don't actually have to write out the words. Okay? But just think about it. If you're writing 8 is to 100, okay, you have to realize that the dollars for the books, since it went in the denominator on the left side, it has to go in the denominator on the right side. Then you have x here. Okay? So how would you solve that? Okay. I could think, well, 100 times 3.5 would give me 350, so I got to multiply 8 by 3.5. Or you can just use the algebra that you've learned, get x by itself, multiply both sides by 350. Whoops, sorry. Backspace here, backspace. 350 like that, okay? And then get out your calculators. This kills. So I need 350 times 8 divided by 100. So calculator right here. Turn it on. Here's the on button. Come on, Nelly. It's not turning on. I'm missing the marker here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to impress you with my technology. It's not working for me. I'm going to delete this thing. Okay, finally, she turns the calculator on. There we go. So 350 times 8, enter, and then divide by 100. There we go, 28. So x is 28. And the last thing I want to do is see if that makes sense. Well, if I'm spending $8 to ship 100 books, if I'm going to $100 worth of books, if I'm going to now ship books that cost a lot more, I expect to spend more on shipping. So $28 makes sense. And I get the same thing if I multiply by 3.5. Okay? Okay, awesome. So what I want you to do is try these 3 problems and bring them to class with you. Okay? See you on Thursday.